your questions here. This first one was talking about having blindfolded people so they can't see, and they have their hands out, and she's adding more weights, and she's saying it was difficult for participants to determine the difference. And so, which is the best answer? So, a sensory adaptation would be more like you're sitting on an itchy couch and it feels really itchy to you at the beginning. And then as you keep sitting there, you just forget that it feels itchy. My children are like this with socks or collars or whatever. It bothers them at first and then it stops. Weber's law is also known as the just noticeable difference law. And so this is what we're talking about here, is that we can't tell the difference of what they're feeling because she's adding such a small amount to their hand that they can't tell that they're there. So of the choices, you picked the one that is related, but Weber's law is better than sensory adaptation. The next one here, let's see if we can make it big enough to see, is we have researcher has a hypothesis that men are more likely to be influenced by the central route of persuasion. So we have to remember what that is. That's the information way, right? So that we're given facts. So they're more likely to be persuaded when given facts about buying a car than women are. The researcher randomly selects 30 men and 30 women to observe while they're buying a car, and the researchers find that women pay attention to information about the reliability of the car, whereas men pay attention to the available colors that the car comes in. What conclusion can the researcher draw? All right, so we have to be careful here because we're 30, we have 30 women. This isn't an experiment, right? There's nothing being manipulated. She's just observing. So she thinks that men are more on details, but she has no way of making any cause or effect conclusion. So when you said proved, she can't prove anything because there's no experiment here, right? So it can't be C. So now we can have a hypothesis is supported. The hypothesis is supported because the results indicate that men are influenced more by the central route to women. Well, women were reliability of the car and men were available colors. It's not supported because the women are influenced more than men, right? They were actually talking about something that was maybe more about facts. And the men, if we talk about colors being more about feelings, then that was men's. But we can't prove anything because we have no experiment here. We have no divided into control and experimental groups. We're just observing men and women. Okay, so that was the second one. And the third one here. In an experiment, participants sat at a computer and were told to focus on an X on the screen for 50 milliseconds. That's a very short amount of time. After this, a horizontal or vertical line was presented for 100 milliseconds, also very short, but longer than the looking at the X. Participants were instructed to press a button every time a horizontal line appeared. Participants in the reward condition received 10 cents for every time they correctly pressed the button when the horizontal line appeared, while participants in the punishment condition started the experiment with 10 and lost 10 cents every time they incorrectly pressed the button. So we have hits. This is going to mean that the horizontal line came, right, and they got it right. So the reward condition got it right 54 times. The positive punishment condition got it right 42 times. Misses, the reward condition got it wrong 10 times. The punishment condition got it wrong 40 times. False positives mean they said that there was a line when there wasn't, and they were, in the reward condition, they pressed it 36 times when there was no horizontal line, and the punishment condition punished it 18 times when there wasn't really a horizontal line. So which of the following is the best conclusion of the data? Participants in the reward condition are more likely to report seeing a horizontal line when there isn't one. Well, that is true. That's 36 to 18. So, but let's read the rest. Participants in the punishment condition do not report seeing the target stimulus on the majority of the trials. No, they have a lot of misses. If we added these all up, it would be pretty close, I think. 64, 100. Yeah, they're both 100. So they're both hitting it 100 times, so it can't be that. Participants are more likely to miss the target stimulus than to report seeing it when they're there. Participants are more likely to miss the target stimulus then reports seeing it when it isn't there. So to more likely to miss the target stimulus, so they missed it 50 times if we add them all together, then the report went, well, that's way more than 50, right? Or about the same, a little bit. So we added 10 plus 40 and 36 plus 18, so that's not true. Participants in the reward condition are less likely to report seeing a horizontal line even when one isn't there. No, that's not true because, and are less likely to report seeing a horizontal, that would be these misses, and they're not less likely, they were more likely. So A is the answer. All right, I hope that helps. Let me know if not.